What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
This is the Horrible Film School. Take a seat and rip open those Trapper Keepers. My name is Chris Purdy, and I am here with Mr. Ryan Hootie.
What's up, fellas? I got my cotton candy ready, boys.
And the Vanilla Grilla from North Kakalaki, Mr. Nasty, my brother Joey.
Killer Cly, wow, wow, hoons from outer space. Yeah. He's ready to send in the clowns, boys.
Send them in, baby. Today's assignment, 1988's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The lesson? In space, no one can eat ice cream.
Did you guys read any of the lyrics for the actual theme song?
I had my subtitles on, so I caught like half of them. They're pretty comical. Something about the fucking P.T. Barnum knew it. One is born every day.
P.T. Barnum said it long ago. One is born every day, talking about clowns, killer clowns from outer space.
Fuck yeah.
There's a line in that song. If you read the fucking lyrics, it actually reads as a rap song more than anything. I can see the Insane Clown Posse doing like a fucking cover. I don't know if they've done that. They should. See a rubber nose on a painted face, bringing genocide to the human race.
Killer clowns.
Killer clowns.
It's so fucking good.
That is dope.
Oh my god.
Well, see, the Ghetto Boys did a song about Chucky. I think the Ghetto Boys could probably do a song about Killer Clowns from
That
Outer
would be
Space.
incredible. Bushwhack Bill is fucking Shorty. That would be incredible.
Bushwhack and Scarface.
As we've alluded to, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a choice by the illustrious Mr. Nasty. I'm going to let you take the floor here, sir.
Well, take it. Have you, had any one of you guys seen that movie?
No.
What about you, Hootie? Did you go to some library and seen it a bunch of times before or some shit?
My brother actually loves this movie. And I've seen bits and pieces over the years, but never all the way through.
Yeah, the Sci-Fi Channel introduced me to this movie a long time ago.
Was it sci-fi before it had the two Y's in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is old school.
Back when it was strictly for fucking nerds.
2003. Fucking shout out.
All right, let's hop into this thing. You guys know the drill. Let's spit out some of these fan reviews from IMDb by the name of Tyler Schaefer back in September of 2022, not that long ago. Title of his review, Killer Clowns Can't Stop the Laugh Train, baby. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 1988, takes an absurd premise as far as physically possible. My favorite guy was the balloon dog. He was very funny. I also liked Mooney. He said, Dave, and made me laugh. The production design was astonishing. It created a unique and unplaceable atmosphere and made this something truly unique. One guy had a popcorn gun, and then they turned out to be little baby clowns and had long necks and ate the girl. She was in a funny bubble balloon. There was a giant clown with big shoes. The only...
How fucking high was this review?
That one fucking broke me, dog. The only slight issue I have with this masterpiece is the unfortunate fact that Pooh Bear, spoiler alert, doesn't make it to the end. 10 out of 10, baby.
10 out of 10. How fucking high you gotta be to write that shit?
All the gummy bears.
All right, now on the other end of the spectrum, we have Dustin Moon with the worst movie ever made, ever, back in January 2005. How in the name of God did anyone back this movie financially? I mean, the way I see it, the people that backed this movie had to have just returned from some 4-day peyote vendor. Better yet, the financial backers of this movie must be the mob. That's the only way this makes sense. They put up the cash for the worst script ever handed to another human being for some kind of front to hide some other shady business they have operating. Please tell me this is the case. It will put my mind at ease after all these years of torment. I have sat here day in and day out, trying to come up with some answer, some explanation of what this 2-hour waste of VHS tape this movie is. It actually takes a lot of effort and hard work to make a movie suck as bad as this. I mean that. You would have to spend years of your life trying to make a movie that's as despicable as this. I feel ashamed of myself for ever viewing it. My advice to the director is this. Never ever attempt to make a movie again ever. I'm only trying to help.
Fuck, dog. Is that a 1 out of 10 or is that a 2 out of 10?
Oh, it is a 1 out of 10 scorched earth.
Shit.
Based on a VHS tape. Taking it back.
He got a 2-hour copy, apparently. I think this guy kind of missed the point here, which is understandable. You go into a movie blind, you don't know what to expect, so. Not to judge too harshly, but this fucking guy judged too harshly.
Honestly, if you go into this movie after having heard the title.
It's in the title, isn't it?
And I mean, literally the movie, what it's going for and what you can expect is in the title.
Maybe he just loved Stephen King's It and thought it was going to be It in space.
Oh, shit, this is the fucking sequel we've been waiting for.
Tim Curry running around space with the balloons.
It's interesting that you're talking about the title there. They said, from what I understand, the original title was Killer Klowns, period. But they felt that came off too much like a slasher. So they added in the from outer space aspects to make it, to broadcast it for what it is.
Yeah, it's almost like they knew what they had, and like if you fucking call it Killer Klowns and people go see it, they're gonna have this kind of reaction.
I mean, there's definitely been movies I've shown up for and been totally taken off guard, like shitty, deceptive trailers and stuff like that. So, but when they put it right there in the title, it's your own fucking fault, buddy. Sorry.
So yeah, I know we usually talk about the director, single director, at this part of our reviews, but for this movie in particular, it's pretty much the brainchild of the collective Chiodo brothers, Stephen, Charles, and Edward. These guys worked on all the Critter movies.
Fuck yes.
Under Chiodo Brothers Productions.
So how are we saying these names before we get to Chiodos or Chiodos?
Chiodo. I say Chiodo.
I'm going to follow your lead there.
Chiodo actually might be right.
I think Chiodo was correct.
You know what? It is tomato. Everybody knows what the fuck we're talking about. We're talking about the Chiodos, boy. It created the Critters from Critters, pretty much. Some of my personal favorite movies, as well as did like puppeteering work on Team America World Police, which I don't think Chris and I don't think we go a week without quoting.
I rewatched
that movie
it
in some way,
2 months
or the
ago.
other.
It's still fucking fantastic.
You gave up on life, didn't you?
Get out of the street, you fucking bum.
So
They also did 2 films not said yet.
Oh, hey, go for it. I'm done talking about them.
Ernest Scared Stupid, which is not the first Ernest film I will bring up during this show.
Oh, that's the one with the troll, right?
With the troll and the milk.
Yes.
Hey there, booger lips.
They created the Screamers in Screamers.
See, now you talking about Screamers. What the fuck is Screamers?
Screamers just was Peter Weller.
Pete.
It came out in the 90s. I recently watched it for the first time, and it's not great. Straight to VHS
Wait, what made
film.
is this movie make you watch Screamers?
I was actually at my brother's house to bring him up again, and we watched it together. Me for the first time. And the Screamers themselves were awesome. They were awesome little mechanical contraptions, but it was a movie based around a cool little monster. The movie was awful.
But the monster was cool.
Monster was fantastic.
I mean, I guess some people would probably say the same shit about the Critters too. So
I think we should all do some more sleepovers at Hootie's brother's house from the sounds of it.
it sounds like he's got really good taste in horror.
Sounds like we need to bring sleeping bags and fucking marshmallows and check out the real Hootie's screening room.
Almost sounds like we need to vote Hootie off the island and get the only Hootie we need.
Get the elder in here.
Elder Hootie.
Legend.
But yeah, you guys got anything else about the directors?
I did. I thought this reminded me of you personally. My brother formed in 2001. The group Chiodos was originally known as the Chiodos Bros. The band's name was a direct tribute to the filmmakers. Thought that was pretty
I wasn't
awesome.
even going to talk about that band.
Reminded me of you. I remember you listening to them a time or two.
They had a few good albums.
They were one of the screamo emo types, right?
Yeah.
A few
Then
good
they
albums. Damn.
Yeah, they got into a scuffle with Horse the Band.
Oh, you chose a
Their
side, I
keyboardist.
see.
And I unfortunately had to side with my boys in Horse. So, fuck you, Chiodos.
Shout out to everyone else who was 14 in 2004. Joey's right there with you.
Dude, I had hair back then. I had like a lot of hair back then.
Unfortunately, yeah, I think you did.
Back in the day.
Another kind of interesting, actually musical note here. Horrorcore rap group. I didn't know that was a genre. The Insane Clown Posse sample dialogue from this film for The Staleness on their 2002 album Joker's Card.
Didn't find a whole lot from this film, but I have two small things here. Apparently, the Chiodo brothers wanted to have a man named Soupy Sales play the security guard in this film, as he was known for receiving pies to the face on his children's television show, Lunch with Soupy Sales. But Trans World Entertainment turned down the idea, as they refused to allocate funds to pay for Sales' plane ticket to the set, and also felt that audiences would not know who Sales was. Boys, do you know who Soupy Sales is?
He was like Mr. Rogers back in the 50s, right? I think that was the whole thing I read. I personally, I didn't know. We literally were watching like Porky's and Friday and shit. We wasn't being shown goddamn Sesame Street and all that stuff.
Oh, you didn't watch
We
Franklin
were
the Turtle?
ruined. We were ruined from a fucking early childhood.
Franklin the Turtle's mom always be baking cookies.
He's Franklin. I remember making
There it
fun of
is.
my younger cousins and watching that shit.
I was your younger cousins. Yep.
Well, that fucking Blues Clues and shit.
I was too cool for that shit, boys. All right.
Before we get off of Soupy Sales, he was receiving pies to the face.
Yes, that was. He was known for it. I don't know how you're known for that, but
Hit me with who wants to come up here and throw another pie in my face again? He had little kids just throwing pies in his face. Who wants to cream pie me? Come on.
on his children's show, he was known for receiving pies to the face.
This sounds like a problematic television show. Let's go ahead and leave it in the past. That one's not getting rebooted anytime soon.
I think that's the reason Mr. Sales, they thought he was going to get fucking turned on in this scene. So they just kept his ass at home.
Oh, Soupy.
This guy's had a hard on for 30 minutes. We got to recast him.
So homework, everybody. Go look up who the fuck Soupy Sales is.
I'm sure YouTube's got him.
My last note was the Dickies, the band who performed the Killer Clown song, never actually watched the film before writing that song, which I thought was actually pretty cool.
How impressive is that?
I think that's what makes the song great, because the title is the fucking movie. That's all you need to know.
Oh, this guitar riff that you hear throughout the movie from this song, it makes the movie.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
use
love
it a
the
lot.
fucking music. The music in this movie, I fucking love it. As I talked about earlier, the Kyoto Bros, they created the Krites, a.k.a. the Critters. The movie was made for $2 million, which is, like, surprisingly low. I mean, $2 million sounds like a shit ton of money, but it was considered like a low-budget production. These guys, they were, like, born and raised always being big fans of, like, old monster movies and stuff, so a lot of that $2 million went to production costs because they were able to do a lot of the like costume design and stuff by hand, and it shows. Like, they're super talented because these costumes are fucking great. The movie brought in $4 million worldwide. I guess that's kind of considered, it made money, but that's still kind of considered a flop, right?
Yeah, I think all of that is essentially post-theatrical run.
It's never gotten a sequel in 35 fucking years. Much as they've actually tried several times. There's been rumors of like a sci-fi TV show coming out, and there's supposedly a movie in production, The Return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but it hasn't gone anywhere. Actually, probably the coolest note here that I found is some of the masks, namely Fatso and Slim. I don't know if you guys actually knew these. There are names for the clowns in the movie.
I think I can figure out which ones they are.
Yeah, right. But yeah, some of the masks, 2 of them to be exact, are used as troll costumes in a Hootie mentioned movie, Ernest Scared Straight.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Ernest Scared Stupid, but
Jim Varney killed these motherfuckers.
Oh, it's Scared Stupid. Fucking Scared
I
Straight.
don't know what Scared
Scared
Straight
Straight
is.
is the prison show where they like yell at the
Oh, that's where they threaten to rape them teenagers and shit.
kids. Hold
and,
my
like,
goddamn pocket.
Yeah,
Somebody
hold
threatened to rape
put
Ernest
your finger in my
on
pocket.
his movie.
Put your finger in my butthole and hold my belt loop.
Hold my belt loop. You mine now. You my little bitch.
All right, bitch, go get my fucking lunch.
Get the extra gravy.
But the Mad TV skit is even better of this skit. The fucking Will Sasso.
I'm about to go back and rewatch this shit.
Heard you little bitches don't like to tie knots. We gonna tie knots.
We gonna tie some fucking knots today.
They're doing the Boy Scouts. This is fucking great.
So this came on the back end of remakes like The Fly, The Thing, The Blob. So there was this track record of these remakes making a lot of money, and these guys were like, oh, we can we can try our hand at this, and it just wasn't as well received at the time.
All right, boys. We ready to get in? Actually, you know what? Before we go, I kind of wanted to run off a roster of the clowns we're actually about to see in this movie. Just to give them names, because I'll be pretty much referring to them as like clown, 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 clown. So we have Jumbo, Shorty, Fatso, Spiky, Rudy, Slim, Chubby, Joe, Maggery, Talls, Storefront, Frank, Boko, Rosebud, and Daisy.
These are all in the movie?
There's a shit ton of costume clowns, yeah.
But they're never called by their names.
They're never, I don't even know if they're like in the credits. I don't know if they're listed as this, but according to diehard fans, these are the names of the actual clowns.
I got an interesting personal note here. The only reason I know a single name of any of these clowns is because my 4-year-old son told me about Shorty. And I asked him who Shorty was, and he said, he's from Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
How does he know that?
I have no idea.
Interesting.
But apparently, I guess he saw some animatronic at Spirit Halloween, and he's the type of kid, if he sees it once, it's in his memory forever. So he educated me on who Shorty was long before I ever saw this. So shout out to the little man.
Don't worry, Dave. All we want to do is kill you.
It's just another night in sleepy, boring Crescent Cove, filled with the song of the katydids and crickets, as well as the squeaks and squeals of the frisky teens that make out point on the outskirts of town. It's here under a blanket of stars that Debbie and Mike bump and grind the night away and witness an astronomical event, a brilliant orange streak scorching across the sky and landing nearby. Much to Mike's protest, the pair take off in an attempt to locate the whereabouts of the ball of light and satiate their youthful curiosity. At the same time, a farmer named Gene Green bears witness to the very same event, and to his delight, discovers that the light source has landed nearby on his property. Flanked by his basset hound Pooh, the farmer takes off in pursuit, with dreams of riches that the discovery will surely bring. Not far from his home, Gene and Pooh discover something strange. A glowing circus tent in the middle of the woods. Puzzled, the farmer investigates, and with his attention elsewhere, doesn't notice a large net scoops up Pooh from within. Unable to find his dog, the man swears and threatens and vows to destroy the tent with his bare hands, before electrocuting himself on a wire protruding from the structure. The man slumps to the ground and looks on in awe as a 7-foot-tall clown appears, armed with a ray gun, blasting the man with a fluorescent pink beam. Lighter introduction here. I didn't even go over the fact that the fucking Terenzi brothers are driving around in a goddamn ice cream truck, and they're trying to bang a couple porkers.
They say, we'll give you the stick. You just give it a lick.
Boy, the way she was sucking on that bomb pop in that truck, she got some skills.
So yeah, like their whole gag was like using ice cream to get laid.
And they got two big old hefty ladies.
Hey, girls like ice cream.
Everyone loves ice cream.
They like phallically shaped ice cream.
We also have already met Officer Mooney in the first couple of scenes here. The movie opens up with the Killer Clown song, badass song, and we find Officer Mooney about to start his Friday day routine with all these drunkards running around. And Mr. Mooney is played by John Vernon. And here, boys, we have our second introduction of an Ernest film. He was in Ernest Goes to Camp. And also Heavy Metal.
Dude, this guy was in like 300, 400 credits, man. He's in everything. He was the dean from Animal House. That's like what I know him from. But he's a very recognizable actor and voice actor.
This guy's got an incredible fucking voice. I hope he got into voice acting.
The character of Mike, his last name, his fucking name is Mike Tobacco.
Mikey Tobacco.
I don't know why.
I did reading up on the directors, kind of like their ideas for the movie. Every person's name they use in this is an actual person that they knew, okay, growing up. So that's somebody from their hometown.
Somebody's last name is Tobacco?
Yeah. Same thing with the brothers, the The ice cream guys.
Terenzi, baby. Terenzi.
That was a real set of brothers they grew up with.
Rich and Paul.
Mike Tobacco is played by Grant Kramer, who was in Willy's Wonderland, which I hope we get to cover on the show.
Oh, that's a recent Nick Cage movie?
Yeah.
God. Dude, Nick Cage didn't say a word that whole fucking movie. Maybe 2 words. How about Farmer Green's acting in this fucking scene,
It's
man?
fucking terrible.
No, fuck that. It's so fucking good.
Could you see the crew member handing him his props through his screen door in the house?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Well, I forgot what he was reaching for, but you could see somebody just hand it to him.
He went and get the shovel.
Oh, yeah, he handed him the shovel.
Yeah, he went and got him a shovel. Shovel and a lantern.
He didn't go get shit. Someone handed it to him.
Oh, no, his acting is so fucking funny right here, man. Like, how serious, and you can tell he loves that dog.
Probably found this guy, said, here's $50 and some McDonald's. Can you and your dog hang out for 3 hours?
They euthanized his dog to get that authentic performance.
Shit, I hope not.
He grabbed that fucking tube coming out, and he just started vibrating and like, ah!
I like when he walked up on this big-ass circus tent in the middle of his woods and said, well, I'll be greased and fried.
These motherfuckers have just popped up a tent. Let's go get some fucking popcorn.
Where's my dog? Where's my Pooh Bear?
So this dude, his name is Royal Dano, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He was in Moby Dick and Outlaw Josie Wales.
Got some legendary performances. Probably like the 30th bill in those, but he was there.
All right, I got one more thing to say about this sequence of events, and then we just move on to the next. They established that Mike is, quote-unquote, Mr. Adventure by the fact that he and Debbie are fucking on top of an inflatable raft in the back of a Jeep Cherokee. That's the only reason that raft is there.
So they're using that to say he goes rafting sometimes?
Oh, he's
a raft guy?
adventurous. He's brave. He's the type to, like, go out and, explore.
It's like Ryan Hootie with all his merit badges from canoeing and shit. Look what I did. But yeah, this dude is like, I guess he's kind of known for this role, and it's definitely something you have to ease your way into. For a while, I really couldn't understand his cadence, but I really kind of came to enjoy what he was doing with this.
Oh, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike starts off to where you're like, man, this dude is just like
Corny as fuck.
bland. Oh, hell, I mean, shit. You seen Debbie? I'd be horny too. But yeah, by the end of the movie, you're rooting for the guy. I like the actor. He was in New Year's Evil, back in like the '80s, like the early '80s. That's like
I don't know that one.
a horror movie that's based around New Year's Eve.
Oh,
You don't see this very often.
Can we address the fact, are these supposed to be high school kids, college kids? Because they look like they have mortgages.
Well, they're buying beer from a goddamn store, so they're at least 21.
why the hell are they going to make out?
But
porn?
they say from school.
I
So
know.
maybe early college.
This doesn't look like a college town, dog.
Well, hold on. What was the minimum drinking age back in the 80s? Being 21 since like the fucking 70s apparently. So they're at least 20. Because they're buying a lot of beer. They're buying a lot of brand beer.
Beer
from the
brand
store.
beer.
Yeah, that shit did crack me up.
You know what? You know what's funny? That that character is that actor.
It's Chris Titus, right?
As Chris Titus.
Why? He's in there for like 3 seconds.
I've heard the fucking name and I know the face. He's a comedian, right?
He's a
I
comedian.
think comedic actor more than a comedian, maybe.
What is he famous for?
For being like in 3 minutes of 10 movies.
He had a couple of stand-up specials. I don't like his humor, but he had a couple of stand-up specials.
But at this point, what was he known for? Anything in 1988?
No, I got no idea here.
He looks like Joel McHale and Jim Carrey fucked each other and had a baby.
But yeah, I think these kids are high school kids. That's the impression I went with here.
I don't know. They're buying beer.
I don't know, dude. The rules is we're going to talk about the rules of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Wait,
fucking
okay.
lost.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Let's say they're 19 and call it even.
We're getting hung up on the age of the beer drinking here.
But yeah, Mike and Debbie soon find themselves on Mr. Green's farm, and they too discover the mysterious orange and red circus tent. The pair press on, with Debbie now the reluctant but abiding one, circling the foreign object and entering its gaping maw. The two explore the abstract passageways that can only be described as what the interior of the ship from Alien would look like if a rainbow threw up on it. What seems to be a simple funhouse housing cotton candy soon sheds that facade, as discovered within the large cocoons of cotton candy are the still digesting remains of Farmer Green and Joe Lombardo! Another towering clown discovers the intruders and, armed with a popcorn-powered cannon, chases Debbie and Mike through the winding halls. The duo barely escape, covered in delicious buttered popcorn, but alive. Not one to let a potential victim go. The popcorn clown is joined by another. With the help of their balloon animal bloodhound, they take off in pursuit of the fleeing lovers who once again narrowly escape. The clown squad, now rolling 5+ deep, make their way to Crescent Cove. I can't even fucking read balloon animal bloodhound shit. Like, I don't believe anybody would have ever typed that and had to read it, but I had to just do that.
That shit had me rolling, man. It was the first time I really cracked up.
The fucking dog thing and how they acted with it is so fucking good. Like, you talk about the acting in this movie all you want. That shit is good.
Yeah, there was some good mimicry going on there.
Yeah, apparently how they get this walk, like this goofy-ass looking walk that looks like super alien, super foreign, super extraterrestrial. The actors who were in the costumes were told to simulate how you would walk underwater. So they have that long stride, that long slow stride that makes it look so...
At least it has a purpose. It was kind of fucking confusing watching it happen in real time.
What about the music as soon as they start heading towards town? The scene where you see the sign on the side that says town's 5 miles away and then the clowns walking past the camera. That fucking music right there is firing, boy.
Why does Mike see this tent again in the middle of the woods? And I was like, oh, he's just so excited. He's got to go inside
Adventurous.
of it. He's got to check it out.
Jeep Grand Cherokee.
He got to impress this chick, man.
Fucking on a raft.
I did read somewhere that the director said essentially the way that they wrote their two main characters here, or these two that we've met to this point, whereas like inverses of the usual protagonist here. Like he is the quote-unquote dumb blonde, and she's kind of the more sensical, logical one who's kind of paying attention to what's happening. I appreciate that from a movie called Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And how much did these fucking cotton candy cocoons look like ball sacks? That's all I could see for the rest of the movie. Singular testicle sacks.
That was Farmer Green. That was his contribution.
The fucking balloon dog is pretty badass.
I thought that like light bulbs, because the top of them had like the spirals, like you would plug into a light fixture.
I just saw ball sacks.
It's like left brain, right brain thing.
A lot of balls
people.
in this movie.
You see a testicle or a light bulb here.
Perfectly smooth shaved ball sack right there.
Every time they come out with some new flavor of like Mountain Dew or some new chip, that's kind of weird. I just bought these Mike Hot Honey flavored Utz chips and this Summer Breeze brand Mountain Dew. I'm all about it. You talking about Mike's adventurous in terms of like canoeing and shit? I'm adventurous when it comes to eating new flavored items and shit. Boy, I would suck the hell out of one of these cotton balls.
Put that on your Tinder profile. I eat all kinds of adventurous snacks. Fucking soft drinks. You're going to love me. You love spicy Doritos? You're going to love me. You're going to love me.
The Mike's Hot Honey thing is blown up.
What the fuck is Mike's Hot Honey?
It's all over the place. He's just putting cayenne peppers into his honey. It's not like he's doing anything crazy.
Debbie and Mike rush to the local police department where Officer Dave Hansen and Officer Curtis Mooney listen to their account of what took place moments before. Predictably, surly Officer Mooney doesn't believe a word of this horse shit, and Officer Hansen is simping too hard for Debbie to know what to think. Nevertheless, Hansen, Mike, and Debbie venture back to Farmer Green's place to corroborate their story. Meanwhile, the clowns start clowning around with the townsfolk of Crescent Cove, building up their supply of delicious, scrumdiddly-umptious cotton candy. It turns out Officer Dave and Debbie, a.k.a. Little Debbie, were an item not so long ago. Unable to handle the thought of Mike and Little Debbie fucking, the log dog drops sex off at her home, making this venture a regular old sausage party. Mike and Dave finally arrive at the tent, only to find there is no tent, only a crater where the quote-unquote spaceship once stood. Peeved that he was taken for a fool, the officer places Mike under arrest, and the two head back towards town. On their way, they pass through the makeout point called Top of the World, only to discover cars vacant and abandoned, and traces of cotton candy everywhere. Debbie's lovers, formerly rivals, now form an alliance and begin their quest to stop the clowns. Alright, now the reason I say Little Debbie is because Officer Dave, that's his nickname for Debbie. This is not me trying to be in any sort of way suggestive or anything.
So I like Dave. I like the character. I like the actor. He's very charming and fun to be around. He's fucking his high schooler, who he refers to as Little Debbie, a.k.a. oatmeal cream pie.
Years ago.
Years ago when she was 14.
How many? Let's hope fucking not years ago. Let's hope months ago. But yeah, Mooney. Hootie talked about Mooney a little bit earlier. This dude is so great. He's so fucking good.
I mean, this dude walked into a pretty shallow talent pool with this film, and it's like, I'm going to show you all how to act, because he is batting 1,000.
Oh, he's super serious in this role, which is great for the character. I mean, like him playing the asshole, surly, crotchety cop character. He's fantastic in that role. It's like the same character from fucking Animal House, like the dean.
The officer Dave Hansen, who's come under scrutiny on this show, is played by a man named John Allen Nelson. 3 names always a good sign. He was in Feast 3, The Happy Finish.
Hell yeah, I'm glad he's still kicking.
Dude, we need to revisit that movie sometime, man. Do like a re-review.
That's the 100th episode, man. We got to redo the first episode.
Dude, I was so young. I was so young back then.
So young. You had hair.
I know I didn't talk about like the individual interactions between the clowns and the townspeople at this point, because there's like a montage of this going on. But one scene, there's a hot chick who answers the door in lingerie, and it's one of the clowns, and he's got a few boxes of pizza. And this is alluding to, like, you know, how porn setups go. With
big sausage pizza.
Did you order a pizza?
With a hole in the dick in the pizza, yeah. I know.
But yeah, then one of the clowns pops out of the pizza box, and a few other clowns come. This was like going to be like a gangbang type situation. So they turn her into a cotton candy cocoon. Do we think these clowns are going to fuck that cotton candy pod or what?
I don't think they're sexual.
I don't know about that one. You see how big him shoes are.
This is true.
Would you want it before the cotton candy testicle or after the cotton candy testicle?
Close your eyes, man. It's all the same, right? As the movie was being made, the production studio pretty much told the directors, we need more clowning around, as they put it. So they kind of went and shot all these door-to-doors, like, separately. It wasn't part of the original script.
It felt super random.
It was just to add, like, more kills.
It had to be runtime, too.
Yeah, maybe that, too.
Because the movie just barely squeaked in at, like, I think an hour and 26 minutes?
Did y'all notice that a young John Wayne Gacy just stopped and watched a fucking puppet show? He was a grown man.
That was creepy. Sitting in like a gazebo.
Watched a puppet show.
The killer clowns continue their invasion of Crescent Cove, this time to the misfortune of a bike gang who pick on the wrong clown, who goes all Jason Takes Manhattan on the punks. Back at the station, Officer Mooney fields calls left and right from citizens with wild claims of clowns and abductions and all sorts of cockamamie shit. Officer Hansen and Mike, now in town, stumble upon a clown hosting a shadow puppet show that ends in the capture of numerous onlookers. Knowing what fate awaits them, Mike foolishly grabs the steering wheel of the cruiser in an attempt to barrel into the fiend, only to slam into a wall with the clown showing off his vertical leap. Dave attempts to warn his comrade Mooney back at the station, but to no avail, as he still refuses to believe any of this hogwash. Mike takes off in pursuit of his boys, the Terenzi brothers, who drive past in their dope-as-fuck ice cream truck. He finds Rich and Paul squabbling as usual, and unable to convince them of the terror that he's witnessed. He bribes them with the promise of the big boobs of Debbie's roommates to join him, and the three amigos head to Little Debbie's.
So when Shorty knocks this guy's head off, this was a turning point.
Decapitation!
This was a fucking turning point for me.
He fucking said... they're talking like alien language, right?
Yeah,
He clearly says, put up your dukes, put up your dukes.
Yeah, he did. That shit cracked me up.
When he whipped them goddamn boxing gloves out.
Yeah, this got me right here.
All right, how did you feel when he fucking destroyed Shorty's bike? And, like, he starts to, like, the clown starts to, like, visibly cry and be sad and shit. Did you feel sorry for the clown?
I did. This guy was a fucking prick. So, did we say, you said Debbie got dropped off earlier, right?
Yeah, she was dropped off before they went and investigated the tent.
Before they went to this tent, and then she entered the shower at that point.
Yeah, she was in the shower for a long fucking time. I didn't talk about that because it was kind of a...
This is one of the longest showers in cinematic history. If you check the story, she's in the shower for hours in this fucking movie. I wrote, she must have been using the hot water heater from Sleepaway Camp as long as she was in that fucking shower.
Man, bitch was covered in buttered popcorn, getting all that butter off and grease and shit. You know,
I'm worried about the damn hot water. You know how hard water is to get in California?
And the scene with this town just happened to have a restaurant called the Big Top Burger Spot.
You know that
Big Top.
motherfucker's gotta be good, man.
Oh, it's great.
Like, it's a circus themed, fair themed, like, they deep fry their burgers. They do all sorts of shit, dude. They got to put cotton candy on your hot dog or something.
Oh,
like
they probably
that.
do the Krispy Kreme burgers too.
God, dude, I'm about to come.
Donut burgers.
Yeah, remember when we got one of those? We had to cut it in half because I could just feel my arteries.
I wouldn't do it
clogging up.
again. I would just eat the
take
whole
a
thing
bite.
myself.
Yeah, I know, right? Back at the precinct, now refusing to even answer the phone under the threat of being made a fool of, Officer Mooney finally encounters a clown of his own. After some more clown shenanigans, Mooney attempts to lock the jester in a holding cell, but instead finds himself to be the butt of the joke and is knocked out cold. A short time later, Dave enters the police station, now seemingly desolate and without power. He soon comes across a couple of cotton candy cocoons in the holding cell, and eventually the body of his co-worker, now fashioned into a ventriloquist dummy operated by a clown. Almost dumping his entire revolver magazine into the intimidating figure's bulbous body to no effect, Dave fires the last remaining shot directly into the big red nose of the target, who explodes in a bright pink light show. Dave radios the state police for backup and rushes off to Debbie's. His interactions with the clown was really good.
The ventriloquist bit was fucking great too, man.
It was scary as fuck.
It was like it was an early sign of Jigsaw, which I think he would have played a better Jigsaw than Tobin Bell.
He's got the voice for it. He's got like a Tobin Bell voice. But yeah, him like clowning him through the hole, locking him up, his hands disappearing, all this shit. And then he's like doing the wiggle his finger on his nose thing. These dudes knew exactly what the fuck kind of movie they were making, and I appreciated that.
When the clown walks in, he looks up and goes, "Well, whoop-de-goddamn do. What do we have here?"
That should be like an introduction anytime anybody ever walks in a fucking room.
Whatever, the clown pulls out a flower and squirts some thick white liquid into his face.
But yeah, apparently that was the actor's idea. He just wanted to add like another clown bit, and he wanted to, I guess, take a dive and get shot all over his face. He was into this, man. He was like fucking suggesting torture to himself.
This interaction in the movie it might be the most recognizable. The whole ventriloquist dummy thing. It was fantastic. There's actually a scene earlier in the movie where they're leaving Mooney behind in the station, and Mooney's talking to Dave, and he tells him, they might make a dummy out of you, but they're not going to make a dummy out of me. Talking about how he's going out here and he's being fooled by these kids, and here we are.
Foreshadowing.
He's an actual dummy.
Did Christopher Nolan write this fucking script? That's fucking incredible. I did love, too, the bit when he does the whole ventriloquist thing. He pulls his hand out, his little glove is covered in blood, and he just slings it on the ground.
Debbie, now fresh and clean after a steamy hot shower and oblivious to what's going on outside, hears a strange noise coming from her hamper. And very much like a jack-in-the-box, a couple of clown tendril babies emerge, born from the popcorn seeds stuck to her discarded clothes. Before long, the entire bathroom plays host to the creatures, and Debbie makes a run for it, hearing Mike's voice at the door. Upon opening it, however, she discovers a gang of clowns who imprison her in a balloon. The Terenzis and Mike, having just witnessed the clown parade collecting countless cocoons throughout the streets of Crescent Cove, pull up to Debbie's just in time to witness the clowns fleeing in their clown car. They give chase, soon joined by Dave and his cruiser. Unaware that Officer Dave is after the clowns and not the ice cream truck, Rich stops abruptly and totals the cop car as it barrels into their ass. Dave, uninjured, hops into the truck and they continue their chase, which leads them to an amusement park with the alien circus tent perfectly blending in. The clowns, armed with acid pies, cream pie the lone guard, cherry topped and all, and head inside the park. Not far behind, the four would-be heroes arrive and warily enter as well.
This is a two-cop town, and they have a fucking Six Flags.
Yeah. I liked how when they were on the one fucking road, you could see the only death thing that the road could be going to. They have the fucking audible conversation. Where would a bunch of clowns go? The amusement park.
The entire fucking part's closed. However, this tent is lit up like super fucking bright. You can see it from space.
What the hell is this one security guard doing there? What the fuck? Who is he keeping out of the amusement park?
Well, that's Shirley Sales. That's the guy who gets cream pied.
He loves getting cream pie.
What are you gonna do with those pies, boy?
He is very suggestive with them pies. You imagine the surly shoes guy fucking delivering that line?
Death by fucking pie, dude. This was my favorite kill in the whole fucking movie. Acid pies.
They throw about 30 pies, and by the end of it, he's literally a pile of cream, and they place a fucking cherry on top.
And then my guy Shorty brings out the biggest fucking cherry imaginable. It just bloop. It's great. It's fucking legendary.
Let's give respect to a legend of cream pie, and that is Soupy Sales.
Soupy.
Man, no.
Damn soupy.
He could have been getting pied, bro. You know how much he would have came, really, with all these pies getting slammed on his ass for like an hour?
Oh, I can't take no more. Oh, oh.
And then going back to her coming out of the shower, I thought this was kind of funny. The director said he wanted to do what Hitchcock did for the shower, but with the toilet. So you're never going to want to take a shit again.
Shit, that was the Ghoulies that did that, bro. Didn't the Ghoulies actually like bite somebody's balls off or some shit?
I always think about Porky's, the snake coming up when the lady's trying to take a shit.
Oh, man, don't say that. You're going to make me think about that.
Again, probably watching way too much adult content when I was a child.
So why did everybody else become cotton candy testicles, but Debbie was inside of an actual testicle that was shaped like a balloon?
Maybe she was going to become a pie.
I like to think the damn dog was trapped in a balloon as well, and he just like floated off somewhere safe.
Yeah, he's fine.
Pooh Bear's fine.
Pooh Bear's up there with fucking Marvin the Martian and his dog.
Where's my Pooh Bear?
I thought the movie was going to turn here when they put her inside of this massive testicle of like they were going to use her to procreate, but it didn't.
God damn, Moody's PG-13. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
Trust me, I'd be down for the NC-17 version. I want to see this. A trap door sucks the Terenzi brothers down into a ball pit, where two big-titted lady clowns presumably also suck off the Terenzi brothers. Now isolated, Dave and Mike find their way to the cotton candy room, filled with hundreds of cocoons. Unable to find Debbie, the duo hide as an obese beast of a clown enters the room, proceeds to watermelon tap the pods till he finds one that's just ripe. One crazy straw insertion later, the big boy drinks his fill. The glutton wanders off, and the boys continue their search, locating Debbie's balloon and breaking her free. The trio begin their escape through the winding maze-like funhouse, tailed by numerous clowns, eventually trapped above and surrounded by a small army of armed clowns.
I wrote girl clowns. WTF. Did you see the breasts swell?
They saw the Terenzi brothers dressed up like ice cream salesmen, and them things blowed up.
I did not. I thought they were cross-dressing. Clowns. I have it in my notes.
Girls, brother.
The boobs is big,
Sorry.
boy.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, right before they go into the ditch, they're kind of talking about maybe the clowns are here to eat. Maybe that's the whole point of this. We're just food.
It's like a fucking stop off at. This is their version of Big Top Burger.
Right. It's just like right off the interstate. They just pulled off for like a QT.
Did you notice that after the clown drank the blood, he burped and farted?
You throwing a good fart at the right time. I mean, I don't care who you are. It's always funny.
With all hope seemingly lost, a wall burst open, and through it, the Terenzi's ice cream truck barrels through. The marooned trio use this diversion to their advantage and reunite with the boys. Surprisingly, the clowns begin to scatter, and from above, a hulking leviathan of a clown is lowered to the ground, standing at over 20 feet tall. The behemoth smashes and destroys the ice cream truck with Paul and Rich still inside. Dave makes the ultimate sacrifice, distracting Clownzilla long enough for Debbie and Mike to escape through the hole in the wall. The two flee to safety into a horde of state police who watch on as the circus begins to levitate. Dave, now in the clutches of the beast, manages to remove his badge and jab the monster in his nose, destroying it and freeing himself in the process, and somehow destroying the ship itself. A single piece of the ship remains and slams into the ground, the clown car, and from it emerges Dave and the frostbitten yet quarreling Terenzi brothers, who somehow survived. So ends 1988's Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Are we to believe that the brothers had sex with those clowns?
Oh, they're covered in like fucking kisses, like lipstick and makeup and shit, and their clothes is all torn up.
I wrote down Clownzilla is a fucking incredible name for a clown. The miniature work with the actual ice cream truck and the little miniature Dave was really fucking cool too, man.
Well, no, it's all perspective shots.
Yeah, I mean, the way they shot it all looked good.
Yeah, it was great. It turned out great. They wanted to do this whole sequence in stop motion, but they couldn't afford to, and it turned out so much better because that would have been fucking awful. That was actually Charles Chiodo playing that, or Chiodo, what the fuck ever.
Oh, and the Clownzilla
he was the
suit.
one playing the Clownzilla, yeah.
I like that badass suit.
Speaking of going bad, a few years later, its ending with the spider was pretty rough to watch.
TV production, man, you can't hold it up.
It's so weird how those movies or that TV movie reflects on the actual like motion picture release. Because that second fucking Chapter 2, dude, that last hour fucking sucked.
It's bad, yeah.
It was bad.
It was the same way with the made for TV movie. Talk about any clown horror movie, it always eventually leads back to it.
This film ends. Joey.
Yeah, I
skip
didn't
this
talk
part.
about
It
the
ends with-
corny ass ending, but go ahead.
with a possible opening for a sequel with all the actors getting pies to the face. And with that, this might be one of the few films you will think of when you say best cream pie endings to a film. Type that in. This one.
Acid pies?
Before I remember they did that in this movie, it was always like between like Jenna Hayes and Sasha Grey. You talk about best cream pie ending.
You going back about 10 years on that one.
Now, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they, hey, you always cherish the classics, man.
Snowballs, I got you. Those had to be acid pies, though, right? All those characters are dead now.
Oh, they're fucking melted.
Fuck.
They're cream pie.
Right there. It's
It
over.
is over. I do got one little note here. John Mazzari's music for the entrance of Clownzilla was originally composed a year earlier for Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives movie trailer. The music for the trailer was rejected in favor of a more cliched approach. A win for Killer Clowns from Outer Space and beloved Clownzilla.
That'd be a forgettable use of that piece anyway.
Bullshit, Jason Lives. All right, god damn it.
The trailer for
trailer?
Jason Lives, not the...
Yes!
Who the fuck watches the trailer?
What did Jason Lives? Jason Lives is 6, right? Yeah, that's a beloved fucking movie in the franchise.
Our killer clowns have gone back to outer space and left us here, all alone with our memorabilia. What's it going to be?
This movie surprisingly has like a lot of options in terms of memorabilia.
Oh, there's props galore in this shit.
However, for me, let me get the popcorn cannon. The prop is actually a working, functioning popcorn cannon. And it's apparently the most expensive prop in the entire movie.
Are you going to shoot yourself in the face with it?
Fuck no. I'll be just
shooting people?
You know how popular I would be at the goddamn movie theater?
Gotcha,
walking in
bitch.
with a fucking... You know what?
I don't think you need to walk in a movie theater with a gun.
Walking
Joey.
with a
It's,
goddamn gun.
let's walk it back.
That's not good. Pause.
Give me that big-ass cherry on that pie pile. That looked like a fucking banger. It would take me a month to eat it, but it looked delicious.
As long as you just pulled it out, like as long as it's like one of those maraschinos and it just come out and it's got the juice.
Yeah, it's got a little drip to it, Yeah.
Suck that shit,
Juice.
I like that shit.
To Joey's point, this film had a lot to choose from. However, I have to go with what I consider to be a light bulb and Chris considered to be a testicle, that cotton candy body bag, which you can now officially buy as of this week at the Spirit of Halloween website, baby. It's $79.99. It is the exact prop. It's 6 foot tall.
Hang it up in your fucking living room.
You know what that would be good on if it was smaller? That'd be a good like Christmas tree ornament.
It's the size of a Christmas tree, Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, if it was
What if we
smaller.
use it in replacement of a Christmas tree this year? Just a big-ass pink testicle in the corner.
Remember how Joey back in the day had that punching
fuck,
bag
boy.
on that holder?
I'd wear that
What if he took
motherfucker
that
out,
off
boy.
and put on
I'd
the
be sitting there
body
sucking on it. Mom would walk by and I'd be sitting with that big ass crazy straw sucking on it.
What the hell's Joey doing? I think it's fucking Joe Lombardo is in that fucking testicle. He's been
Is that
punching.
Joe Lombardo?
I feel bad for Joe. He got all the screen time. We never saw his fucking face.
Yeah, you saw his face, but it was covered in fucking raspberry jam.
If it wasn't for fucking Joe, this movie never would have happened. All right, boys, let's wrap her up. Get out the grade books. Get some letter grades in the books. for what we're calling the Kyoto's brothers.
Chiodo. I think I've said Chiodo and Kyoto
Kyoto's, question mark?
interchangeably.
Apologize
throughout the
either
entire
way.
thing.
It's nothing but respect and love.
It's an awesome movie. That's all that matters.
Of the three of us here, I may have liked this film the least. 1988's Killer Klowns from Outer Space was a bit of a blind spot for me. I had watched several different parts on cable television over the years, thank you sci-fi, but never watched the film in its entirety. It is ironic that we are revisiting this film right after An American Werewolf in London, because the film took the idea of horror with a little bit of humor and sent that sumbitch way over the moon. The film is extremely fun and never takes itself that seriously, if at all. However, for it to be categorized as a horror film is a bit of a stretch for me. It hovers between sci-fi comedy, with most of the weight being on said comedy. But with that being said, it's a fun watch. It's an enjoyable watch. I don't regret watching it. I give it a B.
Movies of this style naturally have like a barrier for entry, obviously, as we've kind of talked around here. Something we've all kind of had in peripherals, but never something that you really want to recommend anybody or force yourself to watch. I felt like about halfway through this, I was kind of pushing myself through it, just trying to go through the paces. Up until my guy Shorty knocked that motherfucker's head off. And then from there on in, I was kind of just, I fell in love with it. The last act really just got to me. Started finally cracking up, got in on the joke, enjoying the protagonist. Finally got the kind of the flow of what they were doing. Effects were nothing wild. There was some good miniature work like we highlighted. Story was pretty goofy, but for me, I feel like this does that one thing that turns things like this into cult classics. It's a je ne sais quoi, if you will. It just left me satisfied, covered in popcorn and pie filling. So for the Kyoto's brothers, I hand you a B.
At this point, it's pretty well known how much I like sci-fi horror, and it's no different with Killer Klowns from Outer Space. It's very self-aware. It knows exactly what it's striving to be, a corny, schlocky, campy B-movie that just oozes charm. It's like an 80s version of those B monster movies from the 50s and 60s, like The Blob. In my opinion, this is the perfect movie for introducing horror to like children or kids. There's horror elements, sure, but for the most part, it's silly, it's goofy. But I can also see it creating a clown phobia because these guys are kind of scary. The costume design of the clowns it's just so awesome. I don't know why I don't have any Kid Clowns from Outer Space merch. I'm gonna have to address that. The score, the music is super underrated and quintessential 80s. The theme song by the Dickies, specifically for this movie, is a banger. The shit is catchy, boy. The movie isn't for everyone. If you're one of those types with a stick up your ass and can't appreciate something purposefully cheesy and goofy for the sake of a good time, then your time is probably better spent elsewhere. At the end of the day, it's just fucking fun and entertaining, and honestly, isn't that what we all look for in a movie? 1988's Killer Klowns from Outer Space grades out at a B.
All right, let's recap some audience score guesses. This was Joey's choice, so it was just myself and Captain Ryan Hootie. Mr. Hootie said an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I went
He's
way
obviously
too
full of
high.
regrets now. I said a 60. The actual audience score is a 60.
Damn, spot on.
Bang, 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 bang.
This is one of those
About
weird
that.
instances where the critics actually revered the movie much more than the audiences, because I think the critics were like a 75 or something.
Yeah, I think they were closer to what Hootie was guessing there. Do a bit of a pivot here, trying to cover another blind spot, maybe get a bit away from the goofiness we've been experiencing lately. Going to take a trip to 1973, my guys, to a movie you probably better know due to its remake, starring the legendary Nicolas Cage. Let's check out 1973's The Wicker Man.
Not the bees!
You can't do the Nick Cage, man. You cannot do the fucking Nick Cage.
I gotta do the Christopher Lee?
It's gonna be hard not to.
I think it's Chris Lee, my boy. My namesake. The OG.
I gotta do the, no, not the bees, sir. Oh, please, sir, not the bees.
Man, I wish I was half as cool as that fucking guy.
Listen here, Gandalf. The bees shall come from Saruman's hand.
Saruman, the white wizard.
That's Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee.
Righty, folks, we're going to hop on YouTube, check out the official trailer for 1973's The Wicker Man. Let's go.
I could a tale
Oh, I already like this fucking voice shit.
Damn, look at that BS Tupa.
Is that Vincent Price?
Is Midsummer?
I feel like ever since Midsommar, all this shit with like the cults and stuff just became more interesting. This looks 70s as fuck. What is going on?
Look at there, copper.
I am here to investigate the disappearance of a young girl. Where
Oh.
is Rowan Morrison?
If Rowan Morrison
Another fucking clown.
we would know.
Damn it.
I suspect murder.
What the fuck?
Searched her already
In the
too.
name of God,
You
woman.
know she's gonna get some
Real
damn
frog,
warts
yeah.
in her mouth. That frog pisses in there.
Stand by and see your own child slaughtered.
Damn.
You are the fool.
Boy, she was stiff as a board coming at that.
Liars.
Dropped his ass.
Are despicable little liars.
The goblet.
This looks foreign, although I don't think it is.
Oh shit, I saw some
She's
movement.
been wearing a shirt.
What's he doing? Is that a glory hole?
God in heaven, even these people can't be that mad.
Are they fucking through the wall?
What the fuck was that? Oh shit.
Where is Rowan Morrison?
If Rowan Morrison existed, we
This
would know.
already looks better than Nick Cage version.
She was burned.
I'm ready to see this shit in HD, man. This fucking quality is dirty.
Rowan Morrison. Oh my God!
The Wicker Man.
British, baby.
Goddamn Nick Cage over the top, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Sorry, boys, there's your trailer. I am free from guessing. So, between the two of you, where do you think this bad boy is sitting at on the tomato meter for the audience?
I'm gonna go, let's say 70%.
You might have hit the nail on the head for the critic score. I'm going to go 58 for the audience.
Alrighty, folks, thank you for listening. Check out the website, horriblefilmschool.com, to find links to all the podcast platforms and the socials. Give us a follow, leave a review, send us some popcorn cannons. I'm going to say goodbye and offer my support to women stepping out of hours-long showers to find baby snake clowns lunging out of the toilet.
As always, if you hear our voices, tell at least one person you know, spread the love, spread the campaign. We've been seeing the campaign in effect lately. A lot of movement out there. We appreciate it. And with the inspiration of the Wicker Man, I'm going to go outside and play with my bees. And I'm out.
Thanks for all the likes, the subs, the listens, the follows, the downloads. We really appreciate you guys and gals' support, as well as your time and attention. Be sure to join us next time when we burn the candle at both ends with 1973's The Wicker Man. Class dismissed.